Everybody, welcome back. My name is Yumbl, and this is an intersection. It is quite the intersection. I think we can all agree there is too much traffic trying to make it through, and everything is bottlenecking. But what if I told you I could get all of the traffic through without increasing the footprint of this intersection? We're going to increase traffic flow tenfold by building over and under the intersection to essentially make what I would call kind of an interchange, but within the footprint of an intersection. Pretty incredible. The solutions I'm going to be offering today will take a bit of patience and a bit of skill, so please bear with as I get this together. One variant is going to have a roundabout, one is not, and that is totally fine. Everyone sit back, relax, enjoy the solutions. All of the tricks that I'm showing you today are going to be revolving around a mod pack or an asset pack called Vanilla Overpass. I've featured this before, and it's very, very useful. It's not the kind of thing I would do all over the place in your city, but if you have a problematic junction or two, this is a really great option. Like if you have a major arterial meeting another major arterial and you find it's backing up, this is a surefire way to eliminate that traffic. So right now, I'm going to use Vanilla Overpass 2-lane road to go over top of this. We're going to use the bridged version. I recommend figuring out where your intersection is first, and then building right off the edge of the intersection. Let's see. There we go. So I'm just going to do 6 units for the overpass. As I said before, we're going to be going over and under. So this one's good. What I have here, I think I've measured it out 12 units away. Yep, so I have a spot 12 units away. That's going to be sort of the landing point for our ramps. So there's the overpass. Let's make the underpass next. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add our Vanilla Overpass project 222. That's what we're going to be dealing with. All these with the 222 at the bottom. This is... Let's see. I'll use the B segment first. The B segment is a connector of sorts. So this one is nodeless. And I'm going to go 6 units of nodeless. And then 6 units of the same thing but with node. So that's the C segment. And there's that. One thing that I forgot to say is for the 2-lane road, if you make it elevated instead of bridged, it will seal up that spot there so you can't see the thing. I'll show you one more time here how that works. But this covers up the connector point that a nodeless segment creates. And you can see this is the result of a nodeless segment as well. I'm just going to delete that road entirely. It would be a bit cleaner if I leave that on the end. So to do that on this side, it's going to be the segment B. Because we have 12 units here, I'm going to go 6 units over, so halfway there, living on a prayer. And then I'm going to do segment C, and you'll notice I'm making a little checkpoint. I don't want segment C to consume segment B, which can happen with nodeless networks. So you can always make a little checkpoint to avoid that from happening. Get rid of the end. So you can see that there's a... Let me just get the cars out of here. I'm just going to unpause it and let these disappear. Very ugly. Or even better yet, no, I want to leave some of the traffic because I want it to disappear. That's the whole point. You can see that this is what the nodeless segment does when connecting to a noded segment. So the solution to that, as stated before, is to convert our overpass ramp to be elevated instead of bridged, and that just covers up that ugly spot. And you can see I've left just enough space here for a little island on both sides. There's going to be a traffic light in the middle initially, I suppose. The final step to this side is to take our A piece for the 222 Vanilla Overpass, linked in the description. I'm going to turn off node snapping, and I'm going to use our guide here. And I want to go 2 units away. You can see with precision engineering, it's a 2-unit segment. Any longer than that, and this texture will start repeating. So I want to go 222. That's good. It can go a little longer than that, but 3 units is too long. I promise you that. If we were to do the same thing, but 3 units away, you can see the chevrons start repeating and the texture gets kind of weird. So it's easier for me to go 2 units away. Click it. There we go. That is probably the easy part. Not too bad. I'm going to delete a couple segments here, and we're going to make our underpass. So this is the overpass of the intersection, all complete. The underpass, we're going to use that same vanilla overpass 2-lane road, and this time it's going to be a tunnel. But I'm going to do all the same measurements. So I think I did 8 units up here. Ooh, I did 9 meters high. Interesting. That's fine. We can go 9 meters under as well. It doesn't really matter to me for this one. So we're underneath, tunneled. That's important. Tunneled to 9 meters. And I'm just going to go 6 units across, measuring from the center of that intersection there, using our road guidelines in combination with the grid. And that's great. And I think it was 9 units to get from there to there. Yep, 9 units. So I'm going to do the same measurements here. Still in tunnel mode. I'm going to turn node snapping back on. We're going to go 9 units over, and I'm going to hit the home button. That's important. If you have a keyboard in front of you, hit home to go back to terrain height. Save you a lot of time. Save your keyboard a lot of trouble. 9 units over. Take it home. Beautiful. So it looks a bit funky right now. That's because the terrain is trying to conform to this. It actually doesn't matter. It's actually going to work out great regardless. So I'm going to do sort of a similar technique to what we had before. I'm going to take our B road, so the nodeless road, and we're going to go over 6 units once again, because 6 is half of 12. It's 12 units to the road for the numbers I'm doing. And it's important here to make sure that this absolutely does not connect to the road underneath. It is crucial that it does not connect to the road. So I'm going to move my mouse around all kinds of places. If you see a -4, you see that height, -4 meters there. If you see that in precision engineering, that means you're about to connect to your underground segment. Certainly not what we want, so I've moved my mouse to the side to keep it flat. That's great. I'm going to make a little marker there so we don't lose that. And the C segment goes to the middle. Beautiful. And that looks awesome. All of the math has worked out. You can see the B segment has an opening, which is exactly what we want, and the C segment has a cover for the tunnel. So perfect. To do it again on the other side, the B segment, 6 units over. I see that -4. I want to avoid that -4 at all costs. And also make a marker there. Scaffolding, whatever you want to call it. I want to preserve this node, so I do a perpendicular piece. And then we're using the C segment. Delete the scaffolding. Same deal. This side has an opening for the tunnel because of the nature of this B segment. And then the C segment has a covering. The dimensions of this are actually a little bit different from the vanilla 4-lane road. So it is important that you use the included roads from the pack. And the final step on this one is to do the A segment. Turn off node snapping. Same deal. I'm going to go 2 units away. I'm going to turn... that's good. 2 units away. Boom. The reason that I'm starting this away from that piece and going towards it rather than starting here and going 2 units over is because the chevrons are backwards. So the lane math will be all wrong. Visually, everything will be off if you do it that way. So it's crucial to start 2 units, somewhere between 2 and 3 units away, and then go towards that node. Now we just have to connect it with our 6-lane road. A lot of these steps will be very similar for the roundabout, so I'm probably going to skip over some of them for the roundabout version of this. And this is easy enough. You'll just end up connecting your vanilla 6-lane road to the end. The mod is called Vanilla Overpass. It is not vanilla. It's vanilla by name, but by name only. That is 100% setup. The traffic manager setup on this is going to be a left turn and a right turn. I'm actually going to use lane connectors for this. So left turn to the closest lane on all sides. Left turn to the closest lane, and right turn to the closest lane on all sides as well. Pretty simple. I just don't want them to pick their lane, because if they choose poorly, they're going to run into the right turning traffic and vice versa. So we just want that kind of pattern in the middle. You will also have to go around and connect each of these so that they don't mess up. Connect this one by hitting Control S. This one here, Control S, will automatically do it. This one is a little ambiguous to Traffic Manager, so you have to manually do it. Control S will give you a mess. And I recommend doing this one as well, just because you don't really want traffic messing around this close to the intersection. It'll cause problems. Same thing on this side. Control S for that one, Control S for the close one. This one, if you Control S, it gives you mush. The game has no idea what this is trying to accomplish. Visually, it's obvious to us. The game does not know. Cool. I'm going to go around and do this to the other two sides, and we'll figure out the intersection in just a moment. Okay, all the lane connectors are in place, everything's good. You'll still notice that this is not able to flow all of the traffic. The center lane is already benefiting. You can see the point of this is that the center lane straight through traffic just gets to skip the intersection on both sides. Very, very powerful, though the left turning traffic is always going to have a bit of trouble. So we're going to help them out by implementing a traffic light, a timed traffic light. The vanilla traffic light is not configured for this type of thing. But in quick terms, just to show what I did there, I've got another video specifically about traffic lights, but what I've done here is I clicked on that, click timed traffic light in Traffic Manager, click on the intersection, add step, and I'm going to hit change mode on all sides. We want that right turn, that straight right turn to exist. I'm going to use a minimum time of 5 seconds, maximum time of 15 seconds. These are just loose numbers. Your mileage may vary. You can probably reduce this in some situations or reduce both of them. That is fine. I'm also going to reduce the flow sensitivity down to 0.3 for longer red and green phases. That's all good to me. Now, phase 1, well here, actually on both phases, you can turn on the straight/right traffic. That is just for the right lane. So the right lane is always free flowing. They can always get out of there, get out of the way of everyone else. So that's good. The first phase is going to have the lefts go in one direction, opposing lefts specifically. Hit add, and then add step again. Turn off those lefts and allow the other directions to turn left. Now I should be able to hit add, start. Another way to increase the throughput on this guy is to turn on let traffic into blocked junction. Cars can just fly into the intersection with the light. They can just trust the light, and that's great. One final thing to note, I'm going to use intersection marking tool just to visualize this, but we need these left turns to miss each other as well. You'll see that as soon as this clears, well, you can kind of see it now, that the left turns are hitting each other on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use node controller, and we're going to bump this up until they miss each other. So 21 looks okay, 22 looks even better. I'm going to go for an even 22 on that. And now we should see all of this clear out fairly rapidly. And there you have it, a very capable downtown intersection that you can make fairly quickly. Once you get the hang of the assets, I think it's not that bad to work with. Helps a lot if you're very familiar with the node system and know how to kind of manipulate roads in this way. I can't think of a solution that takes up less space that works better than this. I think this is the most capable downtown intersection that you can make in City Skylines without it being much, much larger. So I'm very satisfied with that result. The markings make it work as well. You really get to see where the cars belong, and drivers in real life would probably appreciate the markings as well, so you're not getting into trouble with the oncoming traffic. I'd like to show you how I approach doing this same thing, but with a roundabout in the middle instead of the two-phase light. Let me get that set up. Okay, here is the roundabout version of the vanilla overpass kind of bypass situation. I'd call it a bypass roundabout, probably. Things to note, I had to move the pillars back a little bit, so this became a little bit wider, as you can't make a roundabout in the same amount of space, at least not a roundabout of this capacity, in the same amount of space as the four-way intersection, so it does take up a little more space, and the overpass itself is a bit longer, which means the ramps may be a bit steeper, so use your best judgment. You can always take a truck and wait till it's underneath the overpass and then, you know, height to taste. As long as nobody's losing their antenna underneath, that's fine. Other thing to note is that this same situation here will yield a sort of a bit of concrete, kind of an overhang there. You can get rid of that by using Move It. Hold Alt to snap, and it'll snap and stay straight, and that is totally fine right there. So same thing on the other side. We've got that little concrete overhang from the C segment, so we can just, and if you don't hold Alt, that's what happens. So we can just nudge that until it's hidden away. Other than that, it's very similar. Traffic manager setup is going to be about the same. Hold Shift, hold Control, click, normal roundabout setup. That conveniently also added some lane things selectively. Oh, it added right before the roundabout is taken care of. Same rules apply over here, though. You still have to go back and make all these connections on each side so that the traffic knows what to do at the bottom of the ramp. Let me finish the traffic manager setup, and I'll let it run. So I've been letting this run on 3-speed for maybe 10 or 15 minutes now, hoping for the best. It appears to be backed up all the way. On these two opposing sides, at least, it's not doing well. On these sides, it's trending longer and longer, though not as long as the other sides, as pointed with the mouse there. Things of note, the vehicles are following the rules, which is good. I'm glad they're making the 3/4 turn. I must say, though, that a roundabout of only left turns is never going to be the ideal scenario. I think that a light will beat an only left turn roundabout, even though there's a bypass. I thought the bypass might be enough to fix this. Let me play around with this and see if there's maybe any way to salvage this. Maybe adding extra lane or adding a second exit lane or something to that effect. Give me just a moment to see what that might look like. Okay, so hear me out. If it's stupid and it works, is it actually stupid? Here's the solution that I've come up with. It's a two-way road going into this, I don't want to call it a roundabout anymore, going into this circular network. The function of this is the same as a roundabout, where the left, in this case, the left turns yield, though it's not the same as a roundabout at all. These cars see oncoming traffic and they yield to it. The oncoming traffic gets out for free. The roundabout, or the circular network, does not need to support traffic going straight across, so that frees it up for just a left and a right turn. And the reason I think this works is because a left turn only roundabout is a terrible idea. I even tried a counterclockwise roundabout. That's how I got to this point. I tried a bunch of iterations to try to make this thing work. This actually works. It's been up and running for quite a while now, and it's succeeded. So once again, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. Is it dangerous? No more dangerous than making a left turn onto a priority road. Probably less dangerous, I would say. But yeah, no more dangerous than making a left turn onto a priority road. That is going to have to conclude this one. I'm not sure what to call this. Feel free to put your entries in the comments for what this thing is. Other than a monstrosity or cursed. I know it's cursed. I know it's a monstrosity. Tell me something I don't know. What would you call this legitimately? Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for letting me do another video about Vanilla Overpass. I have a previous video. Feel free to check that one out. Doing some different stuff with this set of assets, but this was a lot of fun to make. I also stream twice a week on Twitch, so definitely follow me over on Twitch if you want to hang out live and be in chat. Of course, subscribe here if you want additional City Skylines content. That's all I've got for today. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. I've been Yumbl. I'll see you in the next stream or the next video.